Now I'm going to move on to the new success strategy for tonight, and this is success strategy number 11, and it's add variety. I want you to know I prepared for tonight. I've moved my location. I'm in a new room. I am standing up like I usually do, but I'm in a whole new room, a different phone, and a different countertop, and I put myself here literally to shake it up just a little bit so I wasn't comfortable, and I love this success strategy. I want to tell you about a study from the University of Pennsylvania. It was called the 0 Point Study. This went on a couple of years ago, and it went on for years. And what they asked was, where does genius come from? And who gets to be a genius? And how do they get to be a genius? And what they saw was that people that were rated genius had one thing in common, and they had the capacity to absorb intelligence from all different systems. They did it auditorily, they did it visually, they did it intuitively, and in their study they saw that 99% of the babies born had this capacity to be genius. They were able to absorb information and absorb wisdom without inhibition. By the time they were 5 years old, there was only 20% of them that had that genius capacity. And by the time those people became 20 years old, only 2% of them had the capacity for genius. And what this tells me is that, and this is what they said, is that they had closed down the ability and that capacity to absorb wisdom and to absorb intelligence. It's like we're, a sheep following the sheep in front of us. We have the whole field open to us, but we do it just one way. And what happens is it creates neural pathways in our brain when we do everything the same way. So tonight, this is about adding variety. And what I would like to do is give you a couple of different categories, and I'd like you to look in your life. Just take this on just for this evening, is to say, what if this was true? What if I could solve problems quicker? What if I could be more intuitive? What if I could come up with new thoughts if I added variety to my life? What I'm going to do is give you a couple of different categories, and I'd like you to write down your best ideas, and then we'll get back together and share these. So first of all, what about physically? What about your environment? Your environment might be, where do you work? Where do you live? Your home. How do you get to work? Your tools, your iPhone, your computer, your iPad. When's the last time that you used a pencil to write something out? Your journal, the environment all around you. How could you mix that up? How could you add variety? And back to the physical. What if you changed your hair color? How would people respond to you? How would you respond to you? If you're going bald, what if you shaved your head? What if you got a wig? What if you walked backwards? What about feeding yourself with the other hand? You wear contacts, how about wearing glasses? If you wear contacts, if you wear glasses, how about getting contacts? What variety could you add to yourself in the physical realm? How about in the realm of speech? How do you speak? What languages do you speak? What if you learned a new language? What would that do to the neural pathways in your brain? How could you alter your everyday routine? Also, I want to look at what kind of food do you eat. You might have gotten to the point now that you only eat the same 5 meals. If you're a vegetarian, could you change your diet and eat fish? If you're, could you become a vegetarian? I remember when I went to Optimum Health and they taught me how to just eat raw foods, raw vegetables, and juice. And I did that for 4 years. Changed my life. Really changed my life. And you know, the cells in our bodies change every 7 years. So in 7 years, every cell in your body is going to be brand new. This is really inspiring. All right, we're going to hear 2 ideas from each group, and we're going to start with Anna's group. Anna, go ahead.
Okay, I have 2 ideas. One is to hang out with new people and to be sure that I'm trying other age groups, not just my friends my age. And number 2, live philosophically apart from my husband for 2 weeks. You know, not like spend the money to go on vacation, but stay home, but just tell him that we're each going to have a staycation separately at home so that we aren't living our lives filtering it through one another, either for each other's support and joy or needs. And then we can both experience variety.
Great. If you want that, please write it down. Now we're going to go to the group with Cliff and Bert and Elizabeth, and you have appointed a speaker. Please give us 2 of your ideas, your best ideas. Hi, Cliff.
Hi, how are you?
I'm wonderful. Nice to hear your voice.
Thank you. We came up with a couple of wonderful learn Spanish, and using putting one of those waterfall or water apparatus in the area, or swimming regularly. So water is the second one. And
beautiful. I really like that. If for everyone else is that sensory of the water and the touch. I didn't talk about touch, so yes, Cliff, thank you for that. And then, of course, learning a new language. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Beth.
And Barb Benton.
Barb?
Hi, Joanne. What we came up with, one was to go to the river and cook hot dogs and write down everything that we hear, just every sound that comes to capture that.
Ooh.
So we've got the water and the food and the sense of hearing and actually writing, so I thought that was a lovely one. And then the other one we had was to sleep with the blinds open and let all the evening light, whatever that might be, come in for a change instead of having things dark.
Oh, that's beautiful. Wonderful. A lot of sensory stuff you guys are coming up with. Really good. Thank you. And please, everyone, keep writing. If you want these things or it spurs an idea for you, please write it down. Linda, what have you come up with?
One that we mentioned was going barefoot and running barefoot. And another, yes, I'm sorry. And another one was to fast once a week.
Very good. Very good. I understand when you fast that it stimulates your immune system. So, good idea. And Daniel?
No. I was with Lily, and Lily suggested she bicycle instead of walk to places, to read a novel as opposed to reading what she usually reads. And I said something just as simply as switching sides of the bed.
Oh, yeah. Good idea. Good idea. Yes, I think I'd dream different, and I think I'd sleep different. Thank you. And Elizabeth?
We talked about listening to teletraining and webinars where, like this evening, people are on the line and you can hear what their thoughts and perspectives are. And we also talked about the writing more letters instead of just emailing and texting, writing more letters.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. Just to move our hands and our penmanship and to put our words through our writing. Thank you. That's excellent.